Cheerio. How's everyone? So I went to a fancy party in Potomac, Maryland tonight. So fancy that the dude had a driving range in his backyard. And I went right to the trunk of my car, got my golf club, and started swinging some clubs. I was swinging well, too. I looked good. How about my dress? Can you see it? It's kind of hard to see. It looks pretty if I'm standing up. It's from a company called Farm Rio. R-I-O. Farm Rio. Anyway, Jody Arias. Okay, so I have to tell you, when this case first came out, I really actually I wasn't interested. She's crazy. She's a crazy chick. So I didn't really follow it. I knew she was going to be found guilty. It was just way too clear. But a month or two ago, I was taking a shower, and YouTube has the autoplay. It just plays on to the next video. And it played a Jody Arias video. And so I listened to it, obviously, as long as I was in the shower, and it kept my attention. Had that not happened, you probably wouldn't be getting this. Because, again, for whatever reason, I just was not really interested in this chick. But I just finished a book about her. I will read it again, and if I have new insights, I'll let you know. But, okay, Jody grew up just like you and I did. Normal childhood. She was a Girl Scout. She played in the local youth sports soccer. She did normal things. Her parents were not unusually strict. But at the age of 17, she dropped out of high school. Quit. I'm done. Left. Okay. I didn't know anyone who's ever dropped out of high school. Nobody dropped out of our senior class. One kid didn't graduate, and I happened to run into him 20 years later, and I said something about, he said, "Oh, I didn't graduate. I had to go to summer school." I was like, oh, I didn't even notice he wasn't there. My point is, I can't attribute any of her nastiness to her childhood, because I believe she was raised, anyway, okay. This all happened in 2008, is when she met Travis. Does anyone else find it interesting that Travis was part of an MLM? Who else do we know that was murdered? That was a top producer in an MLM. Kind of creepy, isn't it? And the sad thing is, it's not only Travis Alexander and Shannon Watts. There's multiple cases about that. Okay, so Travis, how do I say this, was pretty much a piece of shit. He wanted to portray this image of something that he absolutely was not. He's this great little Mormon, but he's not. I think you should be abstinent until you get married, or until at least you find that person. But, so in the Mormon church, if you do naughty things, you have to go to the leaders of the church and confess those naughty things. Because I guess those leaders can forgive you of your sins. Never heard of that, because in my world, only God can forgive you. But we'll just move on. I digress. He got multiple girls in trouble. Well, and the girls didn't go to the church and say, "Hey, I necked with Travis." No, he went and told on him. So this man has one of those, the guilt eats at him. Could not. Don't allow things to live in your head rent-free. And that's what a lot of guilt is, unless you're a piece of shit. Look, the dude didn't deserve to get murdered. Just like Shannon Watts did not deserve to get murdered. But he treated Jody like dirt. I mean, he was nasty. I don't understand the sexual part of saying you're a dirty slut and that turning the guy on. And okay, but those were their text messages. I mean, they had a creepy relationship. The Mormon Church divides its members by ages. So ages 20 to 29 are together, and then 30 to 39, 40 to 49. Okay, well, Travis was 29 years old. So he was just about to be kicked out of the 20-year-old group and be moved to the 30-year-old group. Well, what's in the 30-year-old group? Mostly married people. Mormons tend to get married before the age of 20 and 21. I read that 70% of people who are born into the Mormon Church, 70% are married before the age of 20. So, you get married and you get to see each other naked. I sucked my thumb for a long time. And I mean a long time, till I was 8 years old or something. But I can remember my mother saying, Meredith, you have to stop sucking your thumb. Because what are you going to do on your wedding night when your husband finds out you still suck your thumb? And that hit home for me. That was one of the things that, okay, you know what, Mom? You're right. Because that's the first night I'll be sleeping with someone else. And I don't want him to know I suck my thumb. And it worked. Now, this may surprise you, but my wedding night was not the first night I shared a bed with a man. Sorry. So he dates Jody. He treats her like dirt. He had dated multiple other Mormon girls, proposed to the other girls. They weren't interested. Oh, yeah. Before we see Travis, as the way we all see him, the way we know him, he was about 80 pounds heavier. So he was a little fat ass. Isn't it interesting that it's very hard to find pictures of him fat? I looked for some and I really couldn't find any. So his family has done a good job making sure that all of his weight loss pictures were up there. But, so, look, if you want to be obese, that's up to you. Obesity is the #1 preventable cause of death. But, so he wasn't having a lot of luck with the girls. He dropped 80 pounds and he met Jody. And I guess to him, Jody was a hottie. Okay, I think Jody looked terrible with blonde hair. I think she's almost beautiful with the brown hair. I liked the little glasses in the courtroom when she's trying to look like a little schoolgirl. But tell me below what you think. Blonde hair on Jody, PU. Doesn't work. I told you, so he got with this 19-year-old girl who's like, dude, I am so not ready to get married. So he starts dating another girl, and the other girl right away says, nope, I only want to be your friend. On a side note, he's still texting Jody and saying, come on over and let me stick my dick in your butt. To me, that's not a turn on at all. I have called Travis nuts a couple times now. In a 5-month period, Travis and Jody exchanged 82,000 emails. That's about 15,000 emails a month. That's creepy. My goodness, I don't like email. My little notifications, once it starts hitting 80, I say, okay, goodness, I guess I have to go through this. Yeah, I hate email. 82,000 emails. That's what I'm saying. They were both nuts. He treated her like dirt, and she finally had enough. She used to sneak into his doggy door. Well, my friends, the bakers, something was happening one night, and I needed to be able to get into their house, and I wasn't going to be able to find them to get a key. So this is before cell phones. And we're able to get in touch with Tommy and say, oh, Meredith got it taken care of. He says, well, how did she get in the house? I'm like, well, she climbed through the dog door. And I did. I just went right through the dog door. Jody used to do that to him. She would climb through the dog door. But obviously Travis wasn't kicking her out or calling police, so he didn't really mind. After they broke up for the last time, she would go into his Facebook account. I'm not tech savvy by any means. But how do you get into someone's Facebook account? Somebody tell me below. I'll tell you, in 2004, when I started dating my second husband, his ex-wife, who wasn't his ex-wife yet. I did not break up the marriage. They were already going through a divorce. But she had gotten herself access into my Hotmail account, and we figured out that she had done this. And so we started sending fake emails that I was pregnant, things like that. She sent one of them to my dad. My dad's like, Meredith? I'm like, oh, no, Dad, we're messing with her. I ended up contacting her company. She worked for MCI. And I said, hey, this chick is using a spy software on your computers during your company time to access my computers. And that is a felony that the FBI can get involved in. And she lost her job. One of my father's best friends was an FBI agent, and I called him and I said, Dave, this is what's happening. And he told me exactly how to draft the letter. And she called my ex-husband, my boyfriend at the time, and she ended with, I can't believe she was this good. She had no, I wasn't trying to get her fired. I just, get out of my emails, you psycho. I don't understand that. When you snoop in someone's phone or you go in their emails, you're going to have questions that you can't ask because how did you get the information? So why would you do that to yourself? My goodness. If you don't trust someone, find someone else. There's no point in that stress. Anyway. Okay. So, the murder. She slaughtered him. She slaughtered him. I think he was 6'2", okay? She's 5'6". 5'6" and 125 pounds. She slaughtered him. The bullet, they think, she shot him, but she shot him at the end. And how can you be 125 pounds and take on this big, gigantic dude and kick his ass? They were both naked. Who knows? Now, we know she went to his home kind of planning this because not a lot of people carry 20 gallons of gas in gasoline containers in their automobile with them. And on a side note, I'm curious how she didn't get nauseated from the fumes of that gasoline. She must have had her windows down. One time I tried... Oscar's picking up, there's a 3-pound weight bar, and he's trying to pick it up and carry it around. That's what that booming is. One time I tried to run a route up in the mountains for 3 days to see if I could get 3 days on one tank of gas. And so I carried a 5-gallon tank gas with me. I didn't make it 3 days. I had to use the 5 gallons. But the smell started to make me nauseated and sick to my stomach, just even after an hour or so. So that had to be a hard drive for her. But she planned it. I think there was the opportunity that she could have left that home alive, with him alive, but he said something. And she snapped. And she wanted to go to Cancun. Remember, he was supposed to leave for Cancun 2 or 3 days after the event, but he had chosen to take Mimi, who wasn't going to get naked with him, wasn't going to kiss him. She had made it crystal clear they were just friends. And that was it. Jody's thinking, I let you abuse my body physically. She really did. Maybe I'm just different and I don't get off on that. But man, some of their stuff they did was very degrading to her. And she allowed him to do that. But we have to think he wanted to do that. So that's what I'm saying. They were both nuts. I think she just wanted to be loved. Do you know that before she met Travis, she lived with a guy for 5 years. They owned a home together. She paid her bills for 5 years. She was normal. She ended up moving out of that guy because she met Travis. She was very loyal with that. If she was dating a man, she would definitely not date another man. So let's give her kudos for that. But so for 5 years, she was normal. Goodness. Okay. Thank you. If you're still watching right now, you know I am shocked. Hit like, hit subscribe, and please, may God bless our America.